What's up guys, it is That Pentagon. I'm here again with another video, and today we're looking at our second round of Genesis War. There will not be a third round as our enemy did sit out for the third round, so this is the last video for this Genesis War. That being said, this was still a really good fight. It was KAKO and us against OSMB. This first fight was mostly us. They did have a few KAKO members, though I don't want it to seem like we were just full on 2v1ing them here, but I will say OSMB was absolutely ruthless during this. I didn't get the second round of zombie fights because if you guys were playing actively at that time, there was kind of a bug, or like the servers were really bad, so I wasn't really able to fight or even record or anything for the second round. But for the first round, they did push us pretty hard. I mean, obviously we did push their territory here, which was our fault, and then we end up kind of having to run back because we nearly get wiped out. But they go hard, pushing up mid. They do manage to secure a few zombies, push both of us back. Considering this is a 2v1, they went kind of ham. And I mean, you see here, they're pushing up pretty hard. KAKO's not a small group themselves. KAKO's pretty well built, got a bunch of whale power. OSMB are just really well built on fighters. Like, I really did not expect this kind of presence. Honestly, would love to work with them in the future one day. We'll see on that, I guess, if we ever get the chance to, ally with them in a hard bracket. But, this was just a really cool fight. Let me just say real quick, although I did expect OSMB would be cracked warriors, I did not expect them to push this hard, 2v1 style. And they didn't take an ally, I think, in the first round. Or sorry, not in the first round, but I don't think they took the other fourth team as an ally. And the reason I believe they didn't do this is because they wanted to try to dominate their side of the map and potentially just be able to take everything on that side of the map and dominate in points in that regard. But I think it was just overwhelming for us, for them, I mean, because honestly, no matter what they did, the field pressure from both of our teams was just too much. Even if OSMB wanted to fight over like a science hub or defense station, we would literally go and just cut off their kind of refresh point, I suppose. So if you want to go through with, new marches to refresh up fighting mid, you're literally going to have to gather into a murder ball, fight us off, then go back up mid, which it might already be taken by, KAKO, and KAKO's able to also secure towers on the side while doing this because we're just giving them enough wiggle room to kind of come around. And I mean, honestly, if it came down to towers and stuff, I don't think we'd beat OSMB 1v1. Field control, it's hard to say. They fought really hard, but I also think we have pretty good field numbers as well, nonetheless, even though we were 2v1ing and these guys were still fighting hard. I do still think that our field numbers are pretty solid. I don't really know if we'd win in a 1v1 though in that regard. Like I said, towers, I am not as confident in. These guys have a lot of really good rally and garrison captains, although we also do. It's just kind of hard to really say, like, this is a really good team, guys. That's all I can really say about this. These guys are monsters, and I just loved fighting them. So that being said, how we kind of planned to do this round of Genesis War, we were going to swarm, and we did do this, but we swarmed the Science Hub out. We instantly gave it over to KAKO, and the actual plan was we were hoping that KAKO would swarm the other Science Hub, like, instantly after we gave, the side science hub to them, because it would instantly connect them to the other side of the map. But I think they kind of just planned on taking the towers faster as a result of it, so they didn't really focus on focusing the science hub too fast, which I guess made sense. But I was kind of thinking, like, if they got the science hub first, it would have basically cut these guys off from having any shot. But either way, basically giving the science hub allowed KAKO to push up 2 towers instead of 1 right away, because if you guys don't know, if you take the science hub, you can attack anything attached to the mid area, right? Which also kind of included the second tower, because you have 2 towers on both sides that you can build towards the other enemy side. So they basically were able to move up a few minutes faster, is basically what I'm trying to say, and to help them. And once they were able to connect to the other side of the map, we took the science hub on our side, which allowed us to rally on the left side of the map. And then KAKO took that tower, so they were able to also rally on that side of the map, meaning that we were both able to kind of bang it out, you know what I mean? So it did work out pretty well. We were able to field kind of work up here a good bit, try to block these guys off so they weren't able to, actually fight over Science Hub as much, which, gave enough wiggle room to KAKO, for KAKO to kind of just take mid pretty well. And this also allowed KAKO to help rally the towers that we were going to be struggling with on our side, because just 1v1, you're not going to, like, break a competent team in an hour. Honestly, right? And I mean, not even an hour, because you're still taking maybe 20 minutes to actually reach them in towers. So it literally maybe gives you, like, 50 minutes, right, to, rallying to each other's towers. Unless you have a significant strength gap, you're not really going to, just pop one team's singular tower. So we really needed KAKO to connect so they could not only push them from, the backside, right, off to the far left, but also just rallying the towers that we were connected to, so we could potentially get double rallies up and all that. So, you know, that was kind of what we wanted. And it did work out. You know, they helped us with the rallies and stuff. KAKO was able to, you know, kind of dominate up mid, which I do think a lot of this is also partially because of us. I do think we kind of contributed pretty well here. Our field prowess has kind of improved a lot. So I'm pretty happy with the results of this. You know, I do, like I said, I know I'm kind of glazing OSMB, but they were absolutely monstrous enemies to fight. I really enjoyed this. And if I ever get the chance to, you know, fight them in the future, ally them in the future, I'll be happy with either or. These guys were amazing, you know, to fight against. But yeah, this was fun. Would love to do it again, I suppose. But yeah, I do think our 2v1 was pretty great here, but I do think like it was just super fun. And I love seeing a team kind of Spartan fight like this. This is why I really like this fight. I mean, given the same situation, I'm sure we would have tried to do the same thing. Although also unsuccessfully, as you can see, like these guys are still pushing really hard. OSMB is able to just still murder ball off on the left side. You know, they fought us really hard during zombie fights. They've already been field fighting on, try to fight on both fronts, and they've, you know, just been filling their hospitals pretty hard. And, you know, you see they're still fighting pretty hard. I love a good team like this, man. These are the fights I love, guys. So we did manage to push them back to their kind of starter towers or whatever, but there was no way to break them. They have some really good, garrison captains. They have a really good whale here, so there was no way to just pop this within the period of like 10 minutes or so, because this was all we really had left. So yeah, it was a really good fight. Like I said, I'm really glazing this one, but this is one of my more enjoyable fights in a while, just also because of the fact that I feel like my alliance has grown so much, and it's kind of just, you know, it's an accomplishing feeling knowing that my team's kind of grown. And I don't even know how this happened, like it just sparked out of nowhere. But yeah, I do appreciate you guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. I'll try to be posting more, you know, more of our fights, I suppose, right? I do appreciate you guys though. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you guys in the next video, and that is about it. Peace out.